Before sunrise, you stand before a gate of provision that opens only to a commanding voice. You've prayed like a beggar, waiting for scraps. Today you pray as a builder who names the blueprint and lays the stone. You accept the reversal. Wealth doesn't chase hope, it follows orders, and your words are warrants. For Napoleon Hill distilled the law, and the ancients wore its crown. When your thought, decree, and duty march in step, fortune falls into rank. So you speak now clear, costly, courageous what you will give, build, and become, and money will take your measure. Stand tall, breathe deep, declare, you are the fountain, not the cup. And this very day, provision rises to meet your stride. The room is dark, your eyes are closed. In the theater of your mind, you see a single candle flame flickering on a stone threshold. Beyond it, a gate stands silent, carved from iron and older than empires. No inscription names it, yet you know, this is the gate of provision. It does not swing for whispers. It does not pity tears. It waits for the voice that carries weight, the voice that signs a contract in the air and calls the unseen into form. Now the horizon bleeds gold. The flame grows brighter. Your body knows the hour before the alarm sounds. One foot touches the floor. The cool surface wakes your nerves. You rise without hesitation, without negotiation with comfort. The beggar's posture is gone. You stand as the architect who drafted the tower in the night, and now lays the cornerstone at dawn. You speak one sentence, quiet but absolute. The alms are over. You speak a second, I am the architect, and the law hums beneath your ribs like a tuning fork struck clean. The gate of provision does not wait for supplication. It demands the blueprint of the work. You cross that gate every morning, not with a plea, with a plan. In the next stretch, you will learn 3 pillars that hold the structure of wealth: the command, the delivery, and the triune alignment. Each pillar is not theory. Each is engineering. You will understand why your declaration at dawn is not hope, but a work order that matter obeys. You will see how fortune measures the clarity and cost of what you build, not the volume of what you wish. And you will discover the ritual that turns silence into command, repetition into identity, and the scattered self into a single marching column. By the 30th day, you will audit your own frequency. By the 60th, you will track the shift. By the 90th, the evidence will be undeniable, stacked like bricks you laid yourself. At the close, you will hear the maximal law, the one that seals the cycle and makes you the fountain, not the cup. This is not motivation. This is mechanism. Do you speak or do you demand? The first pillar, the command. Your word is not a wish sent skyward. It is a warrant issued to the fabric of reality. Every morning you wake into a field humming with frequencies. Thought is frequency. Emotion is frequency. The law of correspondence taught by the Hermetic ancients, tested by the titans of industry, codified by Napoleon Hill, is not mysticism. It is acoustics at the soul's scale. The pitch you emit in your inner chamber is the shape that returns in your outer room. You speak a vague murmur. You receive vague static. You speak a precise decree. You receive precise form. The gate does not have ears. It has a ledger. It records the signature of your voice and dispatches the resonance that matches. Hill wrote it plainly. Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. But definiteness is not a feeling. It is a specification. You do not say, I want abundance. That is the beggar's refrain, wide as fog and just as weak. You say, I command $12,000 by the 15th of next month to fund the launch of this specific offering, which will serve 500 people and solve this named problem. You state the cost. You name the measure. You sign the term. The universe does not guess. It executes the order as written. Consider the principle without sentiment. If you transmit ambiguity, the field reflects ambiguity. If you transmit precision, the field locks into resonance and begins to collapse probabilities toward the declared form. This is not magic. It is coherence. The scattered wave becomes the focused beam. The beam cuts through resistance. The resistance yields, and capital flows along the channel you carved with your voice. The ancients encoded this in their mystery schools. They did not speak of manifestation as whimsy. They spoke of it as law, as inevitable as water finding level. You set the frequency. The field answers. But the frequency must be pure, singular, unwavering. A note held steady will shatter glass. A note wobbling between pitches produces only dissonance and dust. So, this morning, before the phone buzzes, before the inbox refills, before the world makes its 10,000 demands, you will declare the cost, you will name the measure, you will sign the term. You will say it aloud, even if the room is empty, because sound moves matter, and your larynx is the lever that tips the first domino. The creed you carry from this moment. The price is paid, not someday. Today. In the declaration, picture it now. You stand in the dim light. Your bare feet press the floor. The air is cool on your face. Your voice is low but firm. You speak the sentence, I command this sum by this date for this purpose. You do not rush. You do not mumble. You let each word hang in the air like a stone dropped into still water. The ripples spread. The field registers. The gate logs the frequency. And somewhere in the invisible architecture of cause and effect, the gears begin to turn. This is not superstition. This is engineering at the level of mind and matter. Hill interviewed 500 of the most successful individuals of his era, and every one of them, whether they named it or not, used this mechanism. They thought with precision. They spoke with authority. They acted with immediacy. The three formed a single current, and that current carved a channel through which wealth flowed without obstruction. If you ignore this, if you let the morning slip into scroll and distraction, the order goes unsigned. The provision stays locked. The noise reigns, and you return to the queue of those who hope but do not command. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is the admission that you have not yet taken responsibility for the outcome. Command is the assumption of responsibility. Command says, I will cause this, not, I wish this would happen to me. 3 strikes to seal it. First, the supplication is over. You do not beg. You do not negotiate with the gate. You present the warrant. Second, you demand the form, not the feeling, not the possibility, the form, the tangible, measurable, dated result. Third, the law executes. It has no choice. It is law. When you activate the mechanism activates the result. There is no wealth that manifests before your voice carries the gravity of a contract. So speak the contract. Speak it now. Speak it tomorrow. Speak it every dawn until the result materializes and you can hold it in your hand. The warrant is issued. The ledger is marked. The gate stands open. The contract is signed. You have issued the first warrant. The gate has logged your frequency. And if you are here in truth, if you are ready to cross from beggar to builder, then type one word below, ready. Presence creates identity. Your word in the comments is the first stone you lay. It costs you nothing and it commits you to everything. Do it now. Now ask yourself, does your voice have weight? Does it land like a document signed in ink? Or does it dissolve like mist? You know the answer. And you know what to change. The gate stands open, and the second pillar rises before you. This is the pillar of delivery, and it carries a law you must internalize if you want provision to flow without ceasing. Wealth does. Not chase desire, it measures order and value. Money is not a mystic vapor drifting toward need. Money is a certificate of value rendered. It flows toward clarity, toward utility, toward the builder who can answer 3 questions without stammering. What do you give? Whom does it serve? Why does it matter? If you cannot answer, the flow stops. If you answer with precision, the flow accelerates. The great builders did not pray for bricks. They drew the bridge. They mapped the aqueduct. They detailed the city block by block, arch by arch, street by street. And the universe, by which we mean the vast cooperative intelligence of human exchange, natural law, and invisible order, funded the vision that was already drawn. No one finances a ghost. Everyone finances a blueprint. Hill observed this in Andrew Carnegie, in Henry Ford, in Thomas Edison. They did not beg for capital, they presented the plan, and capital presented itself. Why? Because clarity is magnetic. A vague man repels resources. A precise man attracts them. The field reads the signal. If the signal says, I will build a thing that solves this problem and serves this population and generates this outcome, the field says, approved. Here are the tools. Carnegie did not ask for steel. He described the rail system that would connect a continent and transform commerce. The rails were not his desire, they were his delivery. Ford did not ask for factories. He described the vehicle that would put motion within reach of the common man. The car was not his wish, it was his contribution. Edison did not ask for funds. He described the light that would turn night into day. The bulb was not his hope, it was his blueprint. Each man presented value first. Capital followed value, not the reverse. This is the inversion most people never make. They believe money is the starting point. They believe that if they had the money, they could build the thing. But the law runs the other direction. You build the thing in your mind first. You detail it. You cost it. You describe the benefit it will deliver. And then money, which is simply stored human energy looking for a worthy project, flows toward the blueprint. Not because you deserve it, because the blueprint is clear and the value is undeniable. So this morning, after you have declared the cost, you declare the counterpart. You say what you build. You say whom it serves. You describe the benefit in one clean sentence. You do not ask for permission. You do not wait for mood. You state the value, and you set the value. The creed, the value is set, not negotiable, not contingent, set. Let me be precise. You will say aloud, in the stillness before the world wakes, I build this offering, it serves this group, it solves this problem. The value is this amount because the transformation it produces is worth 10 times that. You speak it as fact. You speak it as a builder presents a contract to a client. Here is what I deliver. Here is what it costs. Here is why it is worth every cent. No apology, no hedging, no discount before the work is even done. Detail the counterpart. Say it in full. Do not summarize. Do not abbreviate. Say, I build a system that teaches entrepreneurs to automate their outreach and close deals in half the time. It serves small business owners who are drowning in manual tasks. It solves the problem of wasted hours and lost revenue. The value is $5,000 because it will generate $50,000 in reclaimed time and new sales within 90 days. That is a counterpart. That is a blueprint. That is the signal the gate can read. Now you do it. Right now, in your mind or aloud, form the sentence. Name what you build. Name whom it serves. Name the problem it solves. Name the value and justify it with the transformation. Do not move forward until you have that sentence clear. The gate waits. The ledger is open. Speak. If you cannot speak this sentence without your voice faltering, you have not yet clarified the value in your own mind. And if you have not clarified it in your own mind, the field cannot clarify it in external form. The outer is always a reflection of the inner. The vague inner produces the vague outer. The precise inner produces the precise outer. This is law. This is not philosophy. This is the mechanics of how reality assembles itself around the frequency you broadcast. Consider what happens when you walk into the day without declaring the counterpart. You become a consumer by default. You scroll. You react. You respond to the agendas of others. You spend your energy on inputs, not outputs. And at the end of the day, you wonder why provision did not arrive. Provision did not arrive because you did not declare what you were building. You did not activate the mechanism. You left the gate closed by your own silence. But when you declare the counterpart, something shifts. You walk into the day as a creator. You see opportunities where before you saw obstacles. You have conversations that matter. You take actions that compound. because your internal frequency is set to builder, and the field matches frequency to frequency. You broadcast builder, you receive building materials. You broadcast consumer, you receive distractions. Simple. Mechanical. True. Describe the benefit. Say it in one sentence that a child could understand. This saves you 4 hours a week. This doubles your close rate. This cuts your cost by 30%. The benefit must be concrete. The benefit must be measurable. The benefit must be immediate or at least visible within a short cycle. If the benefit is vague, the value is vague. If the value is vague, the provision is vague. The gate does not do vague. If you ignore this, if you let inaction eat the morning, the frequency dies. You return to the line of mendicants who wish but do not work, who hope but do not build. And the gate closes, not because the gate is cruel, but because the gate is just. It dispenses to those who build, not to those who wait. 3 strikes to seal the second pillar. First, do not ask. Asking implies you need permission. You do not need permission to create value. You need only to create it. Second, declare the value. Say it out loud. Let the air carry it. Let your ears hear it. Let your nervous system register the commitment. Third, the rest will come, not by magic but by mechanism. When you declare the value, you prime your reticular activating system to notice the resources, the people, the information that align with that value. The resources were always there. You simply did not see them because you were not looking through the lens of a builder. Your fortune is not the sum you hoard. It is the scale of the impact you propose to create. The larger the blueprint, the larger the provision. Not because you deserve it, but because the law matches magnitude to magnitude. A man who plans to serve 10 people receives provision for 10. A man who plans to serve 10,000 receives provision for 10,000. The law does not judge. The law measures. It reads the blueprint and dispatches the materials accordingly. Now, pause for a moment. Close your eyes if you are able. Feel the weight of your body on the chair or the floor. Feel the air moving in and out of your lungs. Notice the hum of silence in the room. You are here, now, alive, capable. You have a mind that can conceive value. You have a voice that can declare it. You have hands that can build it. Everything you need is already within you. The gate is not far away. The gate is the threshold you cross every morning when you choose to speak as a builder instead of a beggar. Let that settle. Let the truth of it sink into your bones. You are not waiting for permission. You are not waiting for a sign. You are the sign. You are the permission. And the moment you speak the counterpart, the moment you declare what you build and why it matters, the universe begins to rearrange itself around that declaration. Not because you are special, but because you used the law. The law is impersonal. The law is available. The law is yours. Consider the mechanics beneath the metaphor. Every dollar in circulation is a vote of confidence in a promise kept. You promise to solve a problem, and someone exchanges their stored time. Money is stored time for your solution. The exchange is clean. The exchange is just. But the exchange cannot occur if the promise is murky, if the solution is half-sketched, if you yourself do not believe in the value enough to name it out loud at dawn. Hill documented this again and again in his research. The person who can articulate their definite major purpose, who can describe the service they render and the population they serve, who can quantify the benefit and stand behind the claim without flinching, that person attracts resources like iron to a magnet, not because the universe plays favorites, because the universe is efficient. It directs energy towards signal, not noise. Clarity is signal. Vagueness is noise. Static repels. Tone attracts. So you must ask yourself, before the day begins, what is the thing I am building today that serves someone else? Not, what do I want? That question leads to fog. But what do I build and for whom and why does it matter? When you can answer that in 15 seconds, the gate swings wider. When you cannot, the gate holds. The gate is not your enemy. The gate is your mirror. It reflects the clarity or confusion you carry. You are not here to beg the gate for scraps. You are here to present the blueprint and receive the materials. The gate does not care about your mood. The gate does not care about your history. The gate does not care if you slept well or if your coffee was strong. The gate reads one thing: the precision and value of your stated contribution. If the contribution is clear, the provision is automatic. If the contribution is vague, the provision is withheld. This is not cruelty. This is design. The system self-regulates. It rewards builders and filters beggars. You chose your role when you woke. You chose it again when you spoke the first decree. Now you confirm it by naming what you build. Let me give you the frame once more, because repetition is inscription. You will say aloud, in the quiet of the early room, today I build this specific thing. It serves this specific group. It solves this specific problem. The value is this. 4 sentences. 30 seconds. But those 30 seconds set the frequency for the next 16 hours. The field hears, the field responds, opportunities appear, conversations shift, doors that were closed yesterday swing open today. Not because you hoped, because you commanded, and you backed the command with a declared contribution. This is the law Hill extracted from the industrialists, and the law the ancients encoded in symbol, as within, so without, as above, so below. As you decree, so you receive. But the decree must have substance. It must have weight. It must carry the counterpart. I give this, therefore I am worthy to receive that. Not because of who you are, but because of what you build. The worthiness is not in your identity. The worthiness is in your utility. You become worthy of wealth by becoming useful at scale. Usefulness attracts wealth. Uselessness repels it. Simple, brutal, true. If you walk into the day without declaring the counterpart, you walk in as a consumer, not a creator. Consumers wait, creators command. The gate knows the difference. It reads the frequency in the first 60 seconds of your waking consciousness, and it sets the trajectory for the next 24 hours based on that reading. So those 60 seconds matter more than the next 1,000. Use them well. Stand again now. Feel your spine straighten. Feel your lungs fill. You are the builder. You are the one who names the blueprint and lays the stone. Declare what you give. Declare whom it serves. Declare the benefit. The gate listens. The ledger is complete. Open. Speak now. The second pillar is sealed with 3 final strikes. First, no plea. You do not ask the gate to open. You open it by presenting the blueprint. Second, you declare the value. Not with hesitation, not with apology, with the calm authority of one who knows the worth of what they carry. Third, the rest comes, not all at once, not in a flood, but in a steady, inevitable flow, proportional to the clarity and consistency of your declaration. The gate of provision does not wait for hope. It does not respond to desperation. It opens to the builder who names the cost, details the delivery, and stands behind the value without flinching. You have named the cost. You have detailed the delivery. The gate has logged both. The counterpart is clear. The provision is in motion. And now, the third pillar awaits, the one that binds the 2 you have raised and makes the structure immovable. You cross the gate again tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that, because the gate is not a destination. The gate is the threshold you cross every dawn, every time you choose order over chaos, clarity over fog, delivery over desire. Remember, the gate of provision demands the counterpart. You have given it. The rest is law. The third pillar rises now, and it is the pillar that binds the first 2 into a structure that cannot fall. This is the pillar of triune alignment. Thought, decree, and duty must march in the same cadence. This is faith. You cannot cross the gate of provision with a soul divided. You cannot think one thing, speak another, and do a third. The dissonance creates friction, and friction burns your energy into smoke before it ever reaches the world. The ancients knew this. Hill wrote it. The successful live it. When the mind, the mouth, and the muscle Move as one river, the current is unstoppable. When they split into three streams, the water dissipates into dust, and you are left wondering why the ground stays dry. Faith is not belief without evidence. Faith is alignment without dissonance. You think the thought, I am the builder of this outcome. You speak the sentence, I command this provision. You execute the first step. You draft the email. You make the call. You lay the stone. The three are one. The law honors unity. The law punishes division, not with malice, but with mathematics. A vector split three ways has 1/3 the force of a vector aimed true. Hill called it the mastermind principle on the grand scale, but it begins on the intimate scale, inside your own skull. Your conscious mind sets the target. Your subconscious mind accepts the target without argument. Your body obeys the target without delay. No lag, no negotiation. No second guessing at 3 in the afternoon when the mood shifts and the doubt creeps in. You have one voice, and that voice is law. The great mistake most people make is they think alignment is a feeling. They wait to feel aligned before they act. But alignment is not a feeling. Alignment is a practice. You do not wait for the three to agree. You command the three to agree, and they obey because you are the sovereign of your own inner kingdom. The mind wants to wander. You bring it back. The voice wants to hedge. You sharpen it. The body wants to delay. You move it. This is sovereignty. This is mastery. This is the only faith the gate recognizes. The law Hill distilled from 500 interviews was this: when definiteness of purpose aligns with emotional conviction and immediate action, the result is inevitable. Not probable, inevitable. The three forces converge into a single beam, and that beam cuts through every obstacle as light cuts through darkness. But if even one of the three is missing, the beam scatters. The light becomes diffuse. The obstacle remains. So this morning, after you have declared the cost and named the value, you unite the three. You say the sentence aloud. You feel the conviction in your chest, not as a prerequisite, but as a consequence of the declaration. And you take the first physical step before breakfast. One email, one line of code, one call, one page. The step does not have to be large. It has to be real. The creed. The three are one. Unite the mind first. Bring your attention to a single point, the outcome you declared. No other thought is allowed residence. When distraction arrives, and it will, you do not fight it. You acknowledge it and return to the point. Again, again, again. The mind is a muscle. You train it by repetition, not by force. You would not expect to lift 100 pounds on the first day in the gym. You do not expect the mind to hold focus for an hour on the first day of practice. But you begin. You begin with 1 minute, then 2, then 5. And over weeks, the mind learns to obey. Picture the mind as a room with 10 doors. Thoughts enter through every door at once. Worry, memory, fantasy, fear, hope. Your task is not to bar the doors. Your task is to stand in the center of the room and acknowledge each visitor without following them out the door. I see you, worry. I see you, memory. But I am staying here, focused on this single outcome. You do not wrestle the visitors. You simply refuse to leave with them. Over time, fewer visitors arrive because the mind learns that you will not be moved. Speak the sentence next, not in your head, aloud. The sound of your own voice is a signal to your nervous system that this is not fantasy, this is instruction. The subconscious does not parse sarcasm or doubt well. It hears the words and begins to execute. So when you speak, speak with the tone of command, not loud, but firm, not aggressive, but unwavering. You are not trying to convince yourself. You are issuing the order. The order is, this is what we are building, and every system in this body will align to make it so. Say it 3 times. The first pass writes the code. The second pass compiles it. The third pass executes it. You are not repeating for emphasis. You are repeating for inscription. Each repetition carves the groove deeper. Each repetition strengthens the signal. By the third pass, your voice is steady, your breath is even, and the sentence lands with the weight of inevitability. Execute the first step immediately. The mind can deceive, the voice can equivocate, but the body cannot lie. When you move, when you take the physical action, you lock in the alignment. The thought becomes word, the word becomes deed, the deed becomes result. This is the sequence. This is the only sequence that works. You cannot skip the deed and expect the result. The gate does not honor shortcuts, it honors completion. What is the first step? It is the smallest, most immediate action that moves the declared outcome from idea into matter. If you declared $12,000 to fund a launch, the first step might be open the document and write the first 3 bullet points of the offer. If you declared a partnership, the first step might be draft the opening line of the outreach message. If you declared a system, the first step might be sketch the first flowchart box. The step takes 5 minutes. But those 5 minutes are the hinge on which the entire day turns. Do it before breakfast. Do it before the phone. Do it before the world has a chance to assert its agenda over yours. The first 60 minutes of the day set the frequency. If you spend them in alignment, the next 15 hours amplify that frequency. If you spend them in distraction, the next 15 hours amplify the distraction. The choice is binary. There is no neutral. If you ignore this, if you let doubt fragment the morning, you spend your power on internal debate instead of external construction. The gate senses the static. The provision hesitates. The field reads dissonance and responds with delay. You lose days, then weeks, then months to the war inside your own mind, a war you are fighting against yourself, a war no one wins. 3 strikes to seal the third pillar. First, dissonance is noise. The gate cannot read noise. It can only read signal. When thought, word, and action are aligned, the signal is clear and the response is immediate. Second, unity is law. The law does not bend for your feelings. The law rewards alignment and punishes division with mechanical neutrality. Third, march in step. The mind sets the target, the voice declares it, the body moves toward it, all in the same direction, all at the same pace, no hesitation, no revision, no retreat. You become the source only when the flow of what you think, speak, and do is a single river. No dams of fear, no forks of hesitation. The river reaches the ocean. The divided streams evaporate in the desert. Choose the river. Choose it now. Choose it again tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that, until the choice is no longer a choice, but the only way you know how to move through the world. The 3 pillars stand now. The command, your word is a warrant. The delivery, your provision follows your declared contribution. The alignment, thought, decree, and duty march as one. These are not suggestions. These are the load-bearing structures of wealth. Remove one and the roof collapses. Keep all 3 in place and the structure holds against any storm. The gate is open, the ledger is live, and the law is waiting for you to walk through. But you have an objection, do you not? You are thinking it right now. I can hear it in the silence between my words and your breath. Let me surface it and dissolve it before it takes root and chokes the mechanism before it even begins. First objection, but it is hard to keep this clarity, this faith, this alignment every single day. Let me answer directly. It is not faith you lack. It is discipline. You do not maintain alignment by emotion. You maintain it by ownership. You do not pray to the gate. You are the gate. The ritual is not optional. The ritual is the lever of discipline, the scaffold that holds the structure when wind blows and mood shifts. You do not do this because you feel inspired. You do it because you claimed your destiny, and a claim without maintenance is a lie. So you maintain. You do not wait for energy. You generate energy by keeping the compact you made with yourself at dawn. This is the difference between the builder and the beggar. The beggar waits for conditions. The builder creates conditions. Maintain the ritual. That is the command. Second objection. This sounds like willpower. and I don't have enough willpower. Good, you are right. You do not have enough willpower. No one does. Willpower is a limited resource that depletes by noon, but discipline is not willpower. Discipline is structure. You do not rely on the feeling of wanting to do the thing. You rely on the system that ensures the thing gets done whether you want to or not. The ritual is that system. It removes the decision. It removes the negotiation. You wake, you perform the ritual, you move into the day. No debate, no committee meeting in your head about whether today is the day you feel like it. The ritual runs, and you run with it. Build the structure. Let the structure carry you. Third objection. This is just a mantra. Words don't change reality. You are wrong, but I understand why you think that. Words do not change reality when they are spoken without belief, without alignment, without action. But when the word is aligned with thought and followed immediately by deed, the word is not a mantra. The word is a command, and reality obeys commands, not mystically, but mechanically. The word focuses your attention. Your attention directs your perception. Your perception filters the information you notice. The information you notice determines the actions you take. The actions you take determine the results you get. The word is the first domino. Knock it over with precision, and the rest fall in sequence. Speak the word, then move. That is the sequence. That is the only sequence. Fourth objection. I tried this before, and it didn't work. You did not try this before. You tried hoping. You tried wishing. You tried declaring without delivering. You tried speaking without aligning. You tried the first day and skipped the second. What you did not try is the full mechanism, maintained with ruthless consistency for 90 days. If you had, you would not be here asking if it works. You would be here teaching others how it worked for you. Try the full mechanism. Do not sample it. Do not test it for a week and declare it broken. Run it for 90 days at 85% frequency or higher, and then assess. Anything less is not a trial. It is a fantasy. Fifth objection. What if I declare the wrong thing? Then you will receive the wrong thing, and you will learn, and you will declare again with greater clarity. The gate does not punish error. The gate punishes inaction. A wrong declaration followed by action teaches you more in a week than a perfect declaration followed by nothing teaches you in a year. Move, declare, adjust, repeat. This is the cycle. This is the only cycle that produces growth. Perfection is paralysis. Precision in motion is progress. The objections are dissolved. They were never real. They were smoke. And now the smoke clears, and you see the mechanism plainly. The mechanism is simple. The mechanism is ruthless. The mechanism is available, and the mechanism is activated by ritual. So let me give you the ritual now, in full, with every detail, so that when you wake tomorrow, you have no excuse and no confusion. You have only the path and the choice to walk it. Here is the mechanism. Here is the ritual that turns silence into command and the scattered self into a single marching column. This is the forge. This is where the alignment is hammered into shape every single morning until it becomes the only shape you know. This is the ritual of 11 minutes. 3 minutes before the sun clears the horizon, you position yourself. Not in bed, not slouched. Seated upright or standing, spine straight, feet grounded. If you are seated, your hands rest on your thighs, palms down, fingers spread. If you are standing, your arms hang loose, shoulders back, chin level. You are not praying. You are not meditating. You are positioning yourself as the architect, reviewing the blueprint before the crew arrives. The position matters. The body sends signals to the mind. Slouch, and the mind follows. Stand tall, and the mind sharpens. You breathe 3 times with a specific cadence. Inhale for 4 counts through the nose. Hold for 4 counts. Exhale for 6 counts through the mouth. On the inhale, you think the word command. On the hold, you think the word execution. On the exhale, you think the word delivery. You do this 3 times. The breath is not decoration. The breath moves the signal from the mind into the body, from the body into the field. The breath oxygenates the blood, sharpens the mind, steadies the nervous system. You are preparing the instrument. You are tuning the frequency before you broadcast. Then, 3 minutes of the sentence. You repeat your decree 3 times, aloud, at full conversational volume. Not mumbled, not rushed. You let each word land. You let the sound fill the room. The repetition is not vain repetition, it is inscription. The first pass writes the code. The second pass compiles it, the third pass executes it. You are programming your subconscious, and your subconscious is programming the field. What is the sentence? The sentence is the decree you formed earlier, the one that names the cost, the date, the purpose. I command $12,000 by the 15th of next month to fund the launch of this offering, which serves 500 people and solves this problem. You say it exactly. You do not paraphrase. You do not summarize. You say it as though you are signing a legal document with your voice, because you are. The air is the paper, your voice is the ink, the field is the witness. Then 5 minutes of vivid visualization. You do not imagine the thing you want. You inhabit the state of already having delivered the thing you built. Close your eyes now, as you listen, and see it with me. You see the screen. The notification has arrived. The payment has cleared. You see the number, 12,000. You see the date, the 15th. You see the message from the client. This changed everything. Thank you. You see yourself opening the project folder. The offer is live. The first 50 people have enrolled. You see their names. You see their faces in your mind, not because you know them yet, but because you are imagining them as real, as vivid as anyone you have ever met. You feel the weight in your chest, not the lightness of relief, the weight of responsibility. You are holding the trust of 500 people now. You delivered the thing. Now you must steward it. You feel gratitude, but not the gratitude of a beggar who received alms, the gratitude of a steward who has been given a post and is honored to serve it well. You feel the hum of alignment in your body. The 3 are one: thought, word, deed, all flowing in the same direction. You see yourself in the mirror now, not the mirror on the wall, but the mirror in your mind. And you speak to yourself, silently, in vivid sensation, 11 lines that inscribe identity. You see a person who no longer begs. You see a person who commands. You see a person whose word carries the weight of contract. You see a person who declared a cost and met it. You see a person who named a value and delivered it. You see a person whose thought, speech, and action are a single river. You see a person who crosses the gate of provision every morning without hesitation. You see a person who builds, not for applause, but because building is identity. You see a person who serves 500, then 5,000, then 50,000, because the scale grows as the clarity sharpens. You see a person who audits their own frequency and enforces their own standard. You see a person who is the fountain, not the cup. You let those 11 lines settle into your bones. You do not rush past them. You let each one land, each one carve its groove. This is not affirmation for the sake of feeling good. This is identity installation. You are not trying to become this person. You are recognizing that you already are this person, and the only thing left is to act accordingly. You stay in that state for the full 5 minutes. If your mind wanders, and it will, you bring it back. Gently, firmly. You do not fight the distraction. You acknowledge it and return to the vision. Again, again, again. By the end of 5 minutes, the vision is burned into your nervous system. Your body believes it has already happened, and when your body believes it, your behavior aligns without conscious effort. When you open your eyes, you do not leap into action. You sit for 10 seconds in silence. You let the frequency settle. You feel the hum of it in your chest, low and steady, like the hum of a generator that never stops. And then you stand, and you move into the day, and the first thing you do, before you check your phone, before you open your email, before you speak to another human, is you log one proof. One piece of evidence that the order is in motion. A message received. A door opened. A thought that arrived unbidden and perfect. An opportunity that appeared. A conversation that shifted. You write it in a notebook, a file, a margin. You document the correspondence. This is not superstition. This is engineering feedback. You track the signal so you know the mechanism is live. You are not hoping the mechanism works. You are verifying that it is working. There is a difference. You perform this ritual every morning. Morning and night if you can, but morning is non-negotiable. The morning sets the frequency. The night reinforces it. At night, you repeat the visualization for 3 minutes, shorter than the morning, but just as vivid. You see the outcome again. You feel the gratitude again. You anchor the frequency before sleep, so the subconscious works on it through the night. Morning and night, the two anchors, the two bookends that hold the day in place. You do this rhythm for 30 days, then 60, then 90. This is the cycle. And the cycle is a story you will live and then tell. In the first 30 days, you are installing the habit. The ritual feels awkward. The words feel strange in your mouth. The visualization feels like pretending. You miss days, you stumble, but you hit 85%, and by day 30, the ritual is no longer foreign, it is familiar. The gate recognizes your frequency. Small proofs appear, a conversation, an insight, a door that cracks open. In the second 30 days, days 31 through 60, you are strengthening the signal. The ritual is no longer awkward, it is automatic. You wake, you perform, you move. The proofs increase, not in a flood, but in a steady accumulation. The message arrives. The client says yes. The opportunity materializes. You are not surprised anymore. You expected it because you commanded it and the law executed. You log the proofs. You count them. 15 proofs in 30 days, then 20, then 25. The signal is working. In the third 30 days, days 61 through 90, you are operating at full frequency. The ritual is no longer a practice, it is identity. You do not think about it, you do it. The proofs are no longer small, they are significant. The 12,000 arrives, the 50 enrollments become 100. The thing you visualized is now the thing you are managing. You are no longer visualizing possession, you are living it. And the next declaration is already forming, larger, clearer, bolder, because you know the mechanism works and you are ready to scale it. This is the cycle. 30 days, installation. 60 days, amplification. 90 days, manifestation. You measure your frequency. You aim for 85 to 90% of mornings per week, not perfection. Precision. If you hit 6 out of 7 mornings, the compound effect is enormous. If you hit 4 out of 7, the signal is too weak to shift the field. The threshold is real. Below 85%, you are experimenting. Above 85%, you are operating. You audit yourself every Sunday at 6 in the evening. You open the notebook. You review the proofs you logged. You count them. You read them. You ask yourself, is the frequency holding? Are the proofs increasing in magnitude? Are the opportunities aligning more closely with the declared outcome? If yes, you continue. If no, you adjust. You tighten the decree. You sharpen the visualization. You increase the consistency. You do not abandon the mechanism. You refine it. And here is the system of possession, the microsystem that transforms hours into recurring assets. Every Sunday evening after you audit the week, you map the next 7 days. You identify the 3 highest value actions that move the declared outcome forward, not 10 actions. 3. You schedule them into your calendar as non-negotiable blocks. Each block is 90 minutes. You protect those blocks as you would protect a meeting with the person who controls your largest contract, because you are that person. During each 90-minute block, you work only on the declared outcome. No email, no messages, no distractions. You build, you create, you deliver. At the end of the block, you log what you completed. One line: built the offer page, wrote the outreach sequence, recorded the first module. You are not journaling. You are documenting asset creation. Each line is proof that you converted time into something that will generate value long after the 90 minutes are over. By the end of the week, you have completed 9 90-minute blocks, 13 and a half hours of focused creation. That is more concentrated value creation than most people achieve in a month. And the assets you created, pages, sequences, modules, systems, continue to work while you sleep. This is possession. You do not trade time for money. You invest time into assets, and the assets generate money on a recurring basis. This is the system. This is how hours become wealth. This is not motivation. This is maintenance. The body obeys. The soul demands. And wealth only enters the plane of the one who audits their own word and enforces their own execution weekly. The metric is the master. You do not serve the feeling. You serve the metric. And the metric serves the result. The gate is open. The ritual is clear. The law is in your hands. And now the final pillar must be sealed with a close that leaves no doubt, no gap, no room for retreat. The gate stands open. The 3 pillars rise before you: command, delivery, alignment. The ritual is carved into your hands. The law is written on your breath. And now comes the close, the seal, the moment where you step fully through the threshold and claim the identity that has been waiting for you since the first time you doubted yourself and chose to hope instead of command. This is not the end. This is the beginning. The beginning of the life where you are the fountain, not the cup, where you are the architect, not the beggar, where you are the one who crosses the gate of provision every morning and signs the ledger with your voice, your vision, and your action. Let me speak plainly now, with no metaphor, no cushion, no gentle landing. You have everything you need. You have the law. You have the mechanism. You have the ritual. You have the 3 pillars. What you do not have is an excuse. And what you will not receive from me is permission to delay, to doubt, to defer to some imagined future version of yourself who is more ready, more worthy, more capable. That version does not exist. There is only you now, with the knowledge in your hands and the choice in front of you. The choice is binary. You either activate the mechanism or you do not. You either speak the decree tomorrow morning or you do not. You either perform the ritual for 90 days at 85% frequency or you do not. There is no middle ground. There is no partial activation. The gate does not open halfway. It opens fully or it remains closed. And it opens only for those who commit fully, not with their words alone, but with their mornings, their breath, their logged proofs, their Sunday audits, their 90-minute blocks. So I will ask you now, and I will ask you only once, are you the fountain or are you the cup? Are you the builder or are you the beggar? Are you the one who commands provision, or are you the one who waits for it to arrive by chance, by luck, by the mercy of forces you do not name and cannot control? You know the answer. You have always known the answer. You are the fountain. You are the builder. You are the one who commands. The only question is whether you will act accordingly, starting tomorrow, starting with the first breath before the sun rises, starting with the first word you speak into the still air of the early room. Pause now. Close your eyes for a moment if you can. Feel the weight of this moment. You are standing at a threshold. Behind you is every morning you woke without clarity, every day you spent reacting instead of creating, every night you went to bed wondering why provision had not arrived. Ahead of you is a different path, a path where you wake with purpose, move with precision, and close each day with proof that the mechanism is working. The threshold is invisible, but you can feel it. It is the line between who you were and who you are becoming, and you cross it the moment you speak the oath. Now I give you the oath. This is not a suggestion. This is not a hope. This is a law you speak into existence, a law that binds you to the outcome and the outcome to you. You will speak this oath aloud, now or tomorrow morning, but you will speak it. And when you speak it, you will mean every word, because your nervous system will know if you are lying, and the gate will know, and the provision will not flow to a liar. Here is the oath. Speak it after me, in your mind now, and aloud tomorrow. Let each line settle before you move to the next. Let the weight of each word press into your chest. This is not recitation. This is declaration. This is the moment you become law. I am the source, not the receiver. I am the fountain, not the cup. I command the field with the precision of my word and the clarity of my vision. My thought, my decree, and my duty are one river, and that river flows without obstruction toward the outcome I have declared. I do not beg, I do not plead, I do not wait. I declare the cost, I name the value, I execute the step, and the provision follows as night follows day. I am the architect of my fortune. I am the steward of the law. I am the one who crosses the gate of provision every morning and signs the ledger with my voice. I swear that my word, my thought, and my action will be the same. I swear that I will maintain the ritual at 85% frequency or higher for 90 days. I swear that I will log the proofs, audit the week, and refine the mechanism until the outcome manifests in my hands. I swear this on my own authority, by my own power, with no permission required and no retreat allowed. I am the law is me, and the law executes. I do not hope for provision, I command it. I do not wish for alignment, I enforce it. I do not wait for clarity, I create it. I am the gate, I am the fountain, I am the builder. And starting tomorrow, I prove it. That is the oath. Speak it. Feel it in your chest. Let it settle into your bones. This is not poetry. This is contract. You have signed it with your voice, and the universe has witnessed it. Now you must honor it. Not because I told you to, but because you told yourself to, and your word to yourself is the only word that matters. The oath is sworn. The contract is live. And now comes the command, the single action that activates everything you have learned, everything you have sworn, everything you have committed to in the last minutes of listening. Here's the command for the next 24 hours. Not the next week, not the next month, the next 24 hours. Because the mechanism operates in the present tense, and the present tense is the only tense that produces results. You do not build the tower in your mind. You lay one stone, and then another, until the tower is done. At your next waking, before you touch your phone, before you check a message, before you speak to another human being, you will write one sentence. The sentence is your proof that the order is in motion, your proof that the gate is open, your proof that the law is live. You will write, "Today I am the builder, and this is what I build." And then you will name the thing, one specific thing, one deliverable, one outcome. And you will complete that thing before the day is over. Not a list, one thing, not a vague intention, a specific deliverable. I build the offer page and publish it. I write the outreach sequence and send the first 10 messages. I record the first module and upload it. One sentence, one action, one proof. And you will do it, not because it is easy, but because you commanded it, and your command is law. Write it by hand if you can. The act of writing by hand engages the motor cortex, deepens the inscription, signals to the nervous system that this is not a passing thought, but a committed action. If you cannot write by hand, type it, but do it before anything else. Before coffee, before breakfast, before the world asserts its agenda, you assert yours first. You write the proof. You name the thing. You move. Do this tomorrow. Do it the day after. Do it for 7 days. And then audit on Sunday evening. Count the proofs. 7 days, 7 proofs. If you have 7, you have activated the mechanism. If you have fewer than 6, you have not. And if you have not, you will ask yourself why, and you will adjust, and you will begin again Monday morning with the same oath, the same command, the same ritual, until the frequency holds and the proofs accumulate and the outcome manifests. This is not theory. This is practice. This is the difference between those who attract wealth and those who chase it. Those who attract wealth operate the mechanism with precision, consistency, and ruthless self-accountability. Those who chase wealth hope, wish, try for a day, and abandon the mechanism the moment it feels hard. You are not a chaser. You are an attractor, and attractors operate the law. Let me tell you what happens when you do this for 90 days. Let me paint the picture so vividly that you can see it now, before it even begins, so that when the hard days come, and they will, you can return to this vision and remember why you started. Day 1. You wake before the sun. You position yourself. You breathe 3 times. Command, execution, delivery. You speak the decree 3 times. You visualize for 5 minutes. You log the proof. You write the sentence. You execute the first step. The day feels different, not easier, but clearer. You know what you are building. You move with purpose. By evening, the thing is done. The proof is real. You log it. 1. Day 7. You have 6 proofs. You missed 1 day. You do not shame yourself. You adjust. You tighten the ritual. You commit to hitting 6 out of 7 next week. Sunday evening, you audit. You read the 6 proofs. You see the pattern. The opportunities are appearing. The conversations are shifting. The gate is responding. You refine the decree. You sharpen the visualization. You prepare for week 2, day 30. You have 26 proofs. You hit 90% frequency. The ritual is no longer awkward. It is automatic. You wake, you perform, you move. The mechanism is live. The field is responding. A client says yes. A door opens. A payment clears. You are not surprised. You expected it. You commanded it. The law executed. You log the proof. 26. Day 60. You have 50 proofs. The outcome you declared on day 1 is now visible. The 12,000 arrived. The offering launched. The 50 enrollments became 100. You are no longer visualizing possession. You are managing it. The ritual is identity now. You do not think about it. You do it. The gate recognizes your frequency. The provision flows. You are the fountain. The proof is undeniable. Day 90. You have 78 proofs. You hit 87% frequency. The outcome is complete. The thing you visualized on day 1 is now the thing you are stewarding. You have served 500 people. You have built the asset. You have logged the proofs. You have kept the oath. And now you are ready for the next declaration. Larger, bolder, clearer, because you know the mechanism works and you are ready to scale it. That is the 90-day arc. That is the story you will live if you start tomorrow. Not if you think about it. Not if you wait until conditions are perfect. If you start tomorrow. With the oath, with the command, with the first proof logged before breakfast. Now picture the final image. You are standing at the gate. The iron is warm under your hand. The sun is rising behind you, casting your shadow long across the ground in front of you. The shadow is steady. It does not waver. It does not shrink. It stretches forward bold and clear, because you are standing tall. You push the gate open. It does not resist. It swings wide, smooth, silent, because it was waiting for you. It was always waiting for you, not for the perfect version of you, not for the future version of you, for you. Now, with the oath on your lips and the command in your hand, you step through. Your foot lands on the other side. The ground is solid. The ledger updates. Your name is written. The frequency is logged. The provision is dispatched. You do not look back. There is nothing behind you but the old identity, the one who begged, the one who hoped, the one who waited for conditions to change before taking action. That identity is gone. It dissolved the moment you spoke the oath. The only identity that remains is the one walking forward now, into the day, into the work, into the outcome that was declared and is now inevitable. You walk 10 paces. You turn. You see the gate behind you, still open, and you realize you are not on the other side of the gate. You are the gate. The provision does not flow to you. The provision flows through you. You are the channel. You are the fountain. And everyone who crosses your path, everyone who receives what you build, is drinking from the fountain that you became the moment you stopped begging and started commanding. You see yourself 6 months from now. The ritual has become identity. The proofs have become results. The results have become assets. The assets generate provision while you sleep. You are no longer managing scarcity. You are managing abundance. You are no longer asking how to get. You are deciding where to give, because the fountain does not hoard. The fountain flows, and you are the fountain. You see the people you have served. 500 faces, then 5,000, then 50,000. Each one a life touched, a problem solved, a burden lifted. You did not do this for applause. You did it because you declared a value, and the value demanded delivery, and you delivered. The provision followed. Not because you were lucky, because you used the law. Not because you were chosen, because you chose. You see yourself in the mirror one final time, not the mirror in your mind, but the mirror on the wall, tomorrow morning, after you perform the ritual. You look into your own eyes, and you see a person who kept their word, a person who did not retreat, a person who commanded the field, and the field obeyed, a person who is the gate, not the one standing outside it, a person who is the fountain, not the cup, a person who is wealthy, not because wealth arrived by accident, but because wealth was commanded, and the command was honored with precision, consistency, and absolute alignment. You see the lines in your face. They are not lines of worry. They are lines of focus. You see the set of your jaw. It is not clenched. It is firm. You see the light in your eyes. It is not hope. It is certainty. You know what you are building. You know how to build it. You know the law. You know the ritual. You know the mechanism. And you know beyond doubt that if you operate the mechanism produces the result. Every time, without exception, because it is law. That is the image. That is the identity. That is the inevitability. You have the law. You have the ritual. You have the oath. You have the command. You have the proofs waiting to be logged. You have the next 90 days waiting to be lived. You have the gate standing open, the ledger waiting for your signature, the provision waiting to flow. The cycle is closed. The law is maximal. You are the gate of provision. You do not stand before it. You are it. And everything you declared, everything you visualized, everything you committed to in the oath is now in motion. Not because I said so, because you said so. And your word is law. Now, before you go, before you close this and return to the scroll, to the distraction, to the noise, I need you to do one thing. One final thing that seals this mechanism and ensures that what you heard does not evaporate the moment you stand up. Like this video. Subscribe to this channel. Share this with one person who needs to hear it. Not because I need the numbers, because you need the commitment. The act of liking, subscribing, and sharing is not about me. It is about you. It is the first micro action that signals to your nervous system, I am taking this seriously. I am not just consuming. I am committing. The like is your first proof. The subscription is your declaration that you will return and refine. The share is your first act of service, giving this law to someone else who is standing at their own gate, waiting for permission they do not need. Do it now. Like, subscribe, share, and then write this in the comments, I am the gate of provision. Not I hope to be, not I want to be. I am, present tense, declarative, certain. Write it. Let the words appear on the screen. Let your eyes see them. Let your nervous system register the commitment. That is your first logged proof. That is the first stone. Now go. Wake tomorrow before the sun. Breathe 3 times. Speak the decree 3 times. Visualize for 5 minutes. Log the proof. Write the sentence. Execute the first step. And do it again the next day. And the next. And the next. Until the 90 days are complete and the outcome is in your hands and you are teaching someone else how the mechanism works. You have the law, the ritual, the proof. Starting today, you attract fortune as a magnet attracts iron, not by hoping, by commanding, not by waiting, by building, not by begging, by becoming. The gate is open, the fortune is yours, and the only thing left is to walk through and claim it. This is the close, this is the seal, this is the law. You are the fountain. The provision rises to meet your stride. Go now, build now, command now. The rest is inevitable.